Hello, my name is Christopher, and I'm recording our Week 6 project for Promineo Tech, creating a game of war. For this project, we had to create 4 classes, one of card, deck, player, and app. So here I'm on the card class, and here we have 2 variables here of value and of string name. We have our constructor here that's going to grab the value and the name. And then we have our predefined getters and setters. And then we're going to describe, we have our method here that's going to describe the card. And then we're going to print out that card name. On our deck class, we created an array list called cards. And then we imported that array list and list. We have two string arrays here, one to hold the values of all the cards from 2 through ace, and then another to hold the suits, the heart, diamonds, clubs, and spades. So then from here, we're going to use an enhanced for loop called string suit and suits. So we're going to loop through each of the suit in this array of suits, and we're going to use this nested for loop to excuse me, use this nested for loop to iterate through each of the values from 2 through 14. So 2 through ace, 2 being the lowest, ace being the highest. And then we're going to add a new card object to the card list. And down here we have our 2 methods. So we have a method of shuffle that's going to shuffle the cards, and then draw, which is going to draw the cards. And we have cards.size -1. So every time a card is drawn, it's going to subtract 1 from the deck size. Our player class, we have another array list called hand, and where we have the score starting at 0, and we have a string called name, and here we're going to use our constructor of the string name. We again have our getters and setters for the scores and the names, and then down here we have another method describing the player's hands for the cards that they have drawn. We're going to flip, another method here. We are going to flip through each card, and if there is an exception and there's no more cards left in the deck, then it's going to throw an exception that the hand is empty. We have another method here that's going to draw each of those cards, and then another method here to increment the score to keep track of who the different players and what score that they have. And then in our app class, with a main method, we have instantiated a new deck, and we have shuffled that deck. We've created 2 new players. I've called them Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And we have our for loop here that's going to iterate through all the cards in the deck. Players are going to draw their cards, and then we're going to flip each of those cards. And then once they flip the cards, we're going to describe the cards to see who has a higher hand or who has a higher card for that round. And then we're going to look at if the value of card 1, which is player 1's card, is greater than card 2, which is player 2's card, player 1 wins that round. And we're going to print out the player dominated that round. So player 1 would increment their score by 1. If it's the other way around, player 2 will have a higher score, and it's going to increment their score by 1. And then once we get to the end here, if there's a tie, if both players have the same card, then it's going to be a tie and no one gets a point. And then at the end here, we're going to add up each of the players' scores. And if player 1 has a higher score, then they win. Player 2 has a higher score, then they win. So let's try and test this here. So I'm going to run this. And as you can see here, we have our two cards. And Tom Brady dominated this round. Patrick Mahomes this round. Then we come to the bottom here. So final score, Patrick Mahomes 8, Tom Brady 16. Tom Brady takes it home. So it's working properly. And just like the way we like it, Patrick Mahomes losing. Thank you so much.